Thank you guys for tuning into another video today. I've got some interesting topics for us. I've got Microsoft purging Chromium of all offensive words, the Young Turks and the media race bait, a swim race, Andrew Yang is buying voters, and Pewdiepie is a confirmed white supremacist. I'm Anthony, and this is Allow Me to Retort. Hey guys, welcome into another video today. I'm so glad you're with me. Comment, like, and subscribe if you guys like the content. I'm going to keep doing it regardless, but it's nice to have a little bit of feedback while I'm doing it. Let's just hop right on into our first story today. This story is a bit nerdy, so feel free to skip it if you don't really understand what the heck is going on here. Google Chrome is the best and most popular internet browser out there, which is very upsetting for Microsoft, who want to use their own thing so they can be in control of all your data, gobble it up, and have it for themselves. And they want you to have a Microsoft account just to use your own PC. The problem is Internet Explorer and its predecessor Edge, they both suck. So basically no one wants to use Microsoft Edge, and rightly so. So Microsoft has decided they're going to start from scratch. They'll use Chromium, which is the basic and open package Google Chrome is built on, to build their own browser, but not before they clean it up a bit. Microsoft is going to be removing terms like whitelist and blacklist and replacing them with allow list and block list, because apparently whitelist and blacklist are racist. They're also going to be removing inside jokes that coders put in there, such as referencing things and calling back to WTF, which stands for what the flip, and any other kind of offensive words. Microsoft is doing all this because they have this policy where they try to be the most open and soft and sissy workplace of all, and where nobody can be offended. And they're even more soft than the people who work at Google, who boycotted Google for trying to help defend America. But what this all comes down to is bashing free speech and indoctrinating people and influencing them to think the way that you think. They wanted people to say things like police officer instead of policeman because, you know, sexism. And on the same token, now this media has a video that's full of crap. They're almost just as bad as the Young Turks, and they're pushing people to stop using the term hey guys because, you know, sexism.
Hey guys, welcome back to Now This. Guys is a simple term. It could mean boys, or if you're modern, hip, it means people. At first glance, guys seems inviting, friendly, maybe warm, even comedic at times. But it, like many male default terms, should not be normalized as an all-encompassing phrase, innocent as it may seem. While we may understand the word means no real harm, with a deeper look, you'll understand that we've been ignoring the cognitive impact on women as well as gender non-conforming folks by only explicitly addressing the male-identifying individuals present.
What a time to be alive. An Alaskan swimmer was disqualified after she won the race because too much of her butt was showing. In my opinion, this whole entire story is dumb. This is one of those situations where something silly happens and then the media realizes a Negro was involved, and then they kick into high gear to hide their own inner racist self-thoughts, and they point out how racist everyone else is. The girl swam really fast, faster than all the other girls, and she won the race. The judge disqualified her because they said, and I quote, her swimsuit was so far up that I could see butt cheek touching butt cheek. Now they have uniform rules and a code which clearly states that this is not allowed and shows how the girls should dress to make it fair for everyone. This includes keeping the event tasteful and creating no distractions, and also not giving anyone more of an aerodynamic edge or advantage. If you've ever competed in any type of serious sport, you know that any little edge will make a huge difference, and this is why they all wear caps. They have swimsuits that match. They're made out of the same thing. They're designed to give them all the same amount of drag when they're in the water. These kind of things are important in a swim meet. The school issued a statement saying that this was an overreach and that they've overturned the policy, and they'll do whatever they can to make sure that it never happens again. But what I find crazy is that the mother admitted she was warned about this before with her other daughter in other swim meets, and she ignored this. So it sounds to me like this judge is consistent. it doesn't sound like he's targeting them. It sounds like he's being consistent. But of course, you gotta chalk it up to race. The one and only American-hating news outlet, TYT, was quick to hop on the Black Butts Matter bandwagon.
And so this athlete was disqualified as a result of this. Now, there are several things you need to understand about this case. First, she was wearing the official school-approved, handed-out swimwear. It's what they told her to wear. You should also understand that she's black.
The way that we objectify, hate, and shame black bodies, because that's what we've minimized folks to.
It's a racial assault against someone whose body type combined with clothing is unacceptable.
Notice how they got that token black guy to come in and comment so they wouldn't look strange for harping on about the big butt of a 16-year-old. Very smart, Check. Very smart. By the way, I just like to point out, if this is what being black for passes in Alaska, then I am straight up Nigerian. Look at this, that blue eyes and brown hair. This girl is hardly black. She's not being discriminated on. She doesn't even know what discrimination feels like. Get out of here. In all seriousness, you know, congratulations on her win. But my opinion is, if you know about this problem where you may be liable to get a wedgie, which may put you in violation of the swim codes, then you should take some type of measures to prevent said wedgie from happening. That's all I think. If she needed a modified swimsuit that fit her better and that no matter how much she swam, it would not ride up like that, then her parents, who obviously take this sport very seriously, should have made the efforts to do that. By the same token, if the judge had seen her get out of the water and she did that little thing where they adjust really quick and fixed herself, then no problem. Why disqualify her? Both of these people are making this a personal thing. The mother is making it personal by saying the judge is racist. The judge is making it personal by getting upset that the mother's not heeding his warning, which is his right to do, by the way. He is a judge. This seems to me like this is well within his bounds. It may seem petty, but it seems like it's his job to do such things and to make such calls. So I'm not really on anyone's side, but if I had to pick one, I side with the judge. Democrats are getting desperate. Like really desperate, like vote for me and I'll pay you levels of desperate. And Andrew Yang was more game show host than presidential candidate when he promised to give $1,000 a month to 10 more families that register via his website or whatever. Which makes me just wonder, how rich is this man that says he wants no more million/billionaires? You know, make no mistake that this man is selling socialism. And this is why we need parents in this nation more than ever. Don't let the media and Facebook raise your children to think the world owes them for everything they do. Teach them there's no such thing as a free lunch, and that most presidents, more than often, only live up to like half their campaign promises. Speaking of promises, most of them promise to take away your guns in some form or fashion.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
So today we've seen leftists divide us with race baiting, try to indoctrinate the young people of Silicon Valley by teaching them everything is racist and offensive except what they want them to say, and now they've made promises to disarm us. What's next? Distracting us by calling a guy that plays video games a white supremacist? Pewdiepie cancels a huge donation to the ADL because his fans didn't like it. This article's by Mashable, and guess what? They're calling Pewdiepie a white supremacist. If you don't know enough about PewDiePie, if you don't know enough about YouTube and you only come here for me, wow, thanks a lot. And this is where I stopped writing my script, so this is going to be off the cuff. But basically, PewDiePie is a YouTuber with 101 million subscribers, probably more at this point, and he's the biggest guy on YouTube. He's had some troubles in the past where he's made jokes that didn't land well. People try to label him a white supremacist and an anti-Semite and all this kind of stuff like that. But none of it's really true. If you watch any of the guy's videos, if you're invested in him as a person, you can clearly see through the crap that the media takes out of context to make him look like a bad guy. Most recently, what he tried to do to put an end to all this white supremacy talk was make a donation to a charity. He chose the ADL, which is very funny because the ADL is one of those very same groups that attacked PewDiePie and called him a white supremacist. But, you know, trying to bury the hatchet, he decided to be the bigger man and make a donation to them despite what they said about him, even though it was completely false. But the ADL also has a checkered past that Mashable links to in this article where they're saying that PewDiePie only pulled his donation because he's a racist white supremacist. They link down here at the bottom They link to good reasons not to donate to the ADL, but then they continue to bash him and call him a racist and a white supremacist and say that his fans getting upset that he made a donation to them is more proof that he's a racist and a white supremacist, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now I'll link down to the bottom of this article so you can read up on why the ADL isn't really the good charity that PewDiePie should have donated to. But basically it's because there's accusations of racism, pedophilia, and some discrimination against homosexuals all cooked within the beginnings of that organization. So take a look at it and figure out why PewDiePie should not have donated to the ADL. But wait, there's more. In the very video where PewDiePie says he's going to not donate to the ADL and he apologizes and says he made a mistake, people were quick to hop on the fact that he is wearing what seems to be a iron cross. People are calling him a white supremacist because he's wearing an iron cross. But here's the thing, that is not at all an iron cross. It's actually the Buoyancy cross. What he's actually wearing is some ugly oversized fashion by Balenciaga. It reads Upalo Shethenskellen, which says Lord have mercy on us all in Georgian, I guess. But there's nothing racist about this. Here is the cross featured on PewDiePie's neck here. This is the Buoyancy cross. Here is the German iron cross. Now they look pretty similar, but you will never see the German iron cross stylized this way that matches what PewDiePie has on his neck. The German iron cross will always have the solid inside with this break around it and then another solid black outline in many renditions of it. Here on Wikipedia you can see in its many forms it is straight shaped like that. This is the back of it, but you see it here in every single depiction of it. It is outlined in that certain way. So for them to take out of context and say this is the same thing as this, it's not. In no form or fashion is it. In every depiction of the Iron Cross, you see these outlines. It is starkly different from what PewDiePie had on his neck, which is this here with a circle around it, because it's Georgian, because it comes from the guy who lives in Georgia. But anyway, that's all the stories for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Anthony, and this is Allow Me to Retort.